Well, so this was supposed to have a kind of a funny title, such as The Truth. Well, the trailer slide, kind of a reference to the tagline, The Truth Lied. So, this is kind of a surprise review. Now, honestly, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to review this game at first, because in the less than a month that this game has been out, I've already had a lot of feelings about this game and just I think the series as a whole. Now, this is not going to be a positive review of Black Ops 6. I guess that shouldn't be surprising. I mean, the reception about this game is kind of polarizing to begin with. On one hand, you have plenty of people saying that this is the best entry in the series, but then you have others saying that, well, they're kind of pointing out plenty of things that they feel are wrong. Now, obviously, opinions are subjective. Just because I don't like this game doesn't mean it's a bad game. I hope to explain in this review on why I think Black Ops 6 is a disappointment. So, this is only going to be covering the campaign. I'm not doing multiplayer, I'm not covering zombies or even Warzone. So, I will obviously label this video accordingly. Also, I plan to take a look at other entries in the Black Ops series and franchise and kind of really just talk about what I think some other games did better and why I feel like this one falls in comparison. So, let's cover the campaign. So, there's spoilers for Black Ops Cold War and Black Ops 2. Black Ops 6 is a sequel to both. Alex is in fact dead. He is confirmed to have died in this game, which kind of makes his potential death in Black Ops 2 canon, and it's also a sequel to Cold War because we see Adler again. In fact, the game kind of treats Adler as an antagonist at first, which from the trailers, it was actually a really good selling point of the game because you wondered, what is he doing now? Like, what happened? But when you play the game, you're wondering, what happened? What the hell did this game do? And not in a good way. The main antagonist, Haro, she's probably the worst antagonist in the entire game alongside Menendez. Now, I've spoken quite a lot on Twitter and Blue Sky about how much I found Black Ops 2 disappointing, and 6 kind of feels a lot like that. Also free. And, well, after completing the game, my opinion on those ones still kind of stand, and frankly, Black Ops 6 is not my favorite one either. There's a few interesting things that the game does. It reintroduces the backpack system that Modern Warfare 2 kind of had, where in some missions, Modern Warfare 2, you could switch between lethal and tactical equipment like flash grenades, smoke grenades, and Molotovs, tear gas, like whatever. You could switch between quite a few of them, and it made some missions in Modern Warfare 2 pretty interesting, which is definitely a standout point for that one. Black Ops 6 kind of reintroduces this, and it's not a bad idea. And I would also kind of say this was kind of present in Advanced Warfare because you could switch between various grenades and such, which I hope other Call of Duties do this. It makes for a more, I guess, authentic experience. And there's also a few other things that 6 introduces. Like, we see a improved safe house with new puzzles and such, and the ability to, well, make it better. Like, there's a lot of perks that we can unlock for the safe house that can help in campaign. I didn't really focus too much on this because I frankly really did not care, but it's clear that Treyarch are putting in a lot of effort into this game. So, I guess, what are my thoughts on the campaign? Frankly, I think the campaign is kind of terrible. It starts off promising, but they really dropped the ball on it. It just feels like a bunch of loosely connected missions with really nothing interesting going on. As I've heard someone call it, it feels like a Hitman game, which I've only seen a playthrough of Hitman 3, but I can kind of see where that point is coming from. A lot of the missions are just frankly uninteresting and just feel uninspired. And then we have the zombies mission. This is where I actually almost quit playing the game. In fact, I ended up taking a break from it for like a few hours because I was just really done with this game at this point. And what comes afterwards honestly just got so much worse. The main antagonist is honestly really just forgettable. She's only evil because she thinks Athor killed her parents. This isn't a bad plot device, but it just. Black Ops has pretty much shown us that it has some really interesting villains. I mean, Call of Duty has shown us some really intense villains, such as Makarov, Zakhaev, Barkov, and of course Irons. But with Black Ops 6, it just really feels like they kind of just. It really just doesn't really like they had much of an idea and just kind of did what they did with Black Ops 2. And Menendez is already just kind of a boring antagonist. Yeah, he got quite a lot done, but his motivations are just. I know it's controversial, but I really just don't think he's a compelling villain. I think compared to other villains that came before him, Menendez is kind of a step down of, well, evil. And considering what we got from Cold War, Black Ops 6 feels like a huge step down. Then there's the technical problems. Now, I know I didn't talk about this much in my Cold War review, and that's because I didn't experience too much of this. I've criticized these games, and I will always criticize them, but I've had a mission crash 7 different times because I was, there's this mission where you're supposed to shoot down some aircraft with a tank. Every time I fired these missiles at a certain point, the game would crash. And it happened 7 times in a row, and I only got past that because I didn't fire any missiles. Still crashed afterwards, but I was eventually able to beat the game, but it just really turned me off on that. And I think considering that the game had spent 4 years in development and has a studio like Microsoft backing him up, there's really no excuse for how this game runs. Like, this is a $70 game, and yet it crashes on so many missions. I've even looked up on sites like Reddit, and I still found people having the same issue. Now, maybe they patched this. I don't know. I have not played since early November. But it's still kind of annoying that the game launched like this. And so I guess, well, how does it stack up compared to other Call of Duties? Frankly, I will definitely say Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and Vanguard were so much better than this. I know this is probably the most controversial thing I've ever said on this channel, because Modern Warfare 3 and Vanguard are widely hated games, and these are games that I've criticized in the future. Well, in the past. Now, I'm not saying that they have the best story, I'm just saying that enjoyment-wise, I've enjoyed those ones a lot more than I did with Black Ops 6. Black Ops 6, honestly, this kind of feels like a slap to the face. As for how it stacks up against other Black Ops games, this is the worst Black Ops game I've ever played, excluding Black Ops 4, because I've never touched that one. But by default, Black Ops 4 is probably the worst one. That's not a fun thing to say about a series that has literally gone on almost as long as YouTube. At this point, I think Treyarch should just make something new. Unfortunately, you probably won't see that because there's rumors of a Black Ops 2 sequel coming next year, which honestly I'm not holding my breath for. I feel like it's going to be another Modern Warfare 3 situation. So, I guess, do I recommend this? Honestly, I still do. If you are a hardcore COD fan or are looking for an interesting entry in the series or just or something new, I'd say get this on Game Pass if you have an Xbox, or just wait for a sale. That's all I really have to say about this one. I will of course be um, eventually recovering the Modern Warfare series, and of course taking a look at Advanced Warfare again, as well with Infinite Warfare and World War II. But until then, that's all I have to say. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for 62 subscribers, and I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful night.